Hello, 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 everybody, and welcome back to another dream today. Hello, hello. Come dream with me. It's Friday, everyone. It's Visual Novel Friday. So get excited, get ready for a horror visual novel called Lake of Voices. But first, let me introduce myself. Hi, my name is Princess Evillan, and I'm a streamer here on Twitch. And I post almost everything that I do here on the channel. It all ends up onto youtube.com/@ Princess Evillan VODs. Evillan is how you spell Evelyn, in case you didn't know. I have a lot of videos on the VODs channel now, including, oh goodness, what did we play recently? We played some Cyberpunk, we played Okami, we played Grim Fandango, Costumes Quest. We played quite a few visual novels on the channel already, including Highway Blossoms and Midnight Witch, which was really good. That was also another horror visual novel. So I'm excited to play this game today. First, whether you're watching this on the VODs channel or you're watching this on the Twitch channel, which I highly recommend you come check me out on Twitch every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and now Sunday. I stream a lot, so come be part of the party and come be part of the stream and come chat with me if you're interested. But yeah. Whether you're watching this on the VODs channel or you're watching this on the YouTube channel, go ahead and like, follow, favorite, subscribe, all that stuff so that you can get notifications on when I stream, which is every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, and when VODs come out on the VODs channel, which is every Saturday. I do a whole week of VODs every Saturday. So you'll get plenty of videos to watch on the VODs channel. Over time, the games that we're playing for spooky season will also end up on the VODs channel. I'm trying to be good about uploading on Saturdays. So, yeah, if you're interested with the spooky season, come join us on stream to see some spooky stuff. If you miss a stream, go ahead and check out the VODs channel in a few weeks. It will come out. But yeah, anyways, we're playing Lake of Voices today. I'm very excited, as you can tell, because I'm all over the place today. But it's supposed to be a horror visual novel where, quote, everybody can be saved. Or no, everyone can be saved, but not everyone, or not anybody can be. No, anybody can be saved, but not everybody can be. That's what it is. So there's a lot of characters in this game. I'm not sure how many characters there are, but I saw quite a few on the Steam page. So there's characters that we're going to be meeting, and somebody is going to not make it through our mission today as we pass through the Lake of Voices. So it's supposed to be a horror visual novel. I think it's free on Steam if you're interested. Link will be in the description on the VODs channel if you're interested. And yeah, so let's just get started with it. Let's jump into it. Here we go, Lake of Voices. Let's see. I think that's good. All right, let me know if it's too quiet, okay? Anyways, here we go, let's start. Certain choices are timed. Time running out isn't something to completely avoid. In some cases, not getting involved can open new possibilities. Other choices aren't timed. These options only determine whether Kika has any special affection for another character or not. If you survive until the second night, the story will branch into 1 of 5 different plot lines based on your earlier decisions. The other characters cannot manage all situations in the various plot lines, regardless of what you do. If a character isn't making it, try getting that plot with a different set of survivors, or having the same group of characters venture through some other storyline. Becoming closer to someone can add and or remove future choices options and change how some scenes play out. Your decision to build that connection may not go unnoticed by the other characters. Earning the full amount of affection with certain characters can require getting into specific plot lines. Interesting. So there's some time choices, which that'll be fun because I'm not very good at making choices on the fly like that, but we'll see how that goes. It also seems like other characters cannot manage all situations in the various plot lines regardless of what you do. So other characters will hit situations where other characters can't do anything or can't handle anything, and then they'll end up not making it. Is that what I'm seeing? I'm not entirely sure, but we'll figure it out. Returns to previous text choice. Page up key. T key opens full text history. Got it. My grip on my lantern tightens as the fog around us thickens. While the forests in this area are relatively safe compared to Sinnlos, I can't help but feel my hair stand on end the further we get. My free hand fingers the hilt of my sword, something akin to a nervous reflex.
Have you seen it before?
Ooh, hello, Bamel. Bamel breaks the silence, either sensing my unease or assuaging his own. I hope it's the latter.
I haven't. I've had no reason to go near this cursed lake until now. What have you?
I didn't know this was gonna be voice acted. That's so cool. That's so exciting. Bamel scratches his chin casually, as though I asked what his favorite food is.
I traveled a long way around it once before. Not so pleasant. Something about it just frays your nerves. Although, even being near it is enough.
Let me check something real quick. Yeah, he always says that. Okay. So I'm not the only one who feels it. A sense of relief hits me, but not enough to undo the buzzing of anxiety. The lake, Sinnlos. Most try their best to avoid it all their lives. The hundreds who die attempting to cross its unearthly black water, dragged to death by the creatures lurking within, aren't a secret.
No wonder you were assigned this mission.
There are a few who've had first-hand experience with the place, even if it comes from a distance. They'll probably keep being picked whenever they need someone to cross, for however long he's with us. Bamel shrugs, bringing my attention back to the dark path before us.
At least we're taking the bridge this time. It'll only take 2 days instead of double that, and the sooner this place is behind us, the better.
So we only have 2 days to get across the lake.
It would be preferable not to risk it. But time is of the essence. We don't really have a choice.
One of our allied villages, Hammer, is being harassed by brigadiers, a band of ruffians. We don't have many guards to send as an assist, only Bamel and myself. Well, that's not very helpful. The last we can do is arrive before we're too late to be of any use. But the least we can do is arrive before we're too late to be of any use, yeah. These kinds of squabbles happen often, but they have to be put down unless they turn into a blood grudge or all-out war. The last we heard, neither option was that far off.
I can also see why they chose you to come out here.
Really? Why? What's special about me? I'm just a girl. I glance at Bamel, an eyebrow raised. A slight smile plays across his lips.
You're always so calm, so serious. Nothing can get to you. You're the best choice they had.
Interesting. A smile now tugs at my own lips. I would like to thank him, but that wouldn't be so calm and serious as he just described. And if that's how he sees me, I'd like to keep it that way. Ooh, romance option? My lack of reaction only makes his smile grow, and he chuckles a bit before refocusing on the path. I do the same. It wouldn't be right to let my guard down in a place like this. Bamel appears to feel differently, however.
You know the town on the other side of the lake, though. It's not so similar to ours. If all goes well, perhaps we'll have enough time to enjoy the new area.
That'd be nice. For the most part, I ignore him, nodding when applicable. Bamel is a talkative sort, and if chatting helps keep his worries down and his sword hand ready, I have no complaints. After a time, the thick fog surrounding us begins to clear. A slick wooden dock comes into view, and with it the sounds of water gently lapping at its sides. Bamel shifts beside me, stretching his lantern arm as far as it will go. He seems tense.
Someone's already here.
Oh. Oh, hello. You're adorable. I love your curly hair. And your little crocheted, lacy wrap. That's really cute. A young woman stands by the dock, eyeing us warily. Does she intend to cross tonight? Evidently, she has the same question. As we step up next to her, it's clear she isn't simply passing by. She's waiting. The stranger nods curtly to us. Margaret.
Kika the Steadfast.
Ooh, we have a surname, the Steadfast. We have a title. That's cool.
Bamele.
Oh,
Hello?
Bemele. Okay. It's good that he said his name, so now I know how to say it. Bemele. Hello. There's a stuffy silence. Margaret turns to gaze out across the lake, expression unclear. With not much to say, Bemele and I do the same. I'm still gonna call him Bamel. I think it's prettier. Maybe not prettier, but like, it's just what my brain goes to. Bemele. From here, the black surface of the lake looks disarmingly calm. Wind rushes across its surface, a sound like whispering. Ooh. Voices, perhaps? Though perhaps it actually is whispering. I concentrate, trying to place the difference, searching for breaks in rhythm. After a few seconds, I feel foolish. It doesn't matter what the noise is. Whether I hear them or not, we're not alone. The Nixi are out there. What are the Nixi? We're getting really thrown into this. A feeling that I can't quite shake tells me that they've already noticed the little group of people on their shores. It feels hostile. My stomach sinks, and I instead address Bemele.
Where is the guide?
You're not the guide? I thought Bemele was the guide.
Unless he's on the center island, or on the complete other side, your guess is as good as mine. It's dark as pitch out there.
Panic rises inside me. Panic I try hard to quell.
We can't cross without him, and we need to get going soon.
You can't cross with him either.
Ew. What do you say, you, Margaret? The woman behind us, Margaret, cuts in with something like a snort.
What?
I know the guide will be here tonight. I have already made arrangements with him to cross.
Okay. Bemele and I share a look. The woman seems haughty and willing to put up a fuss. Alright, so maybe you're not as cute as I thought you were.
I have his word he'll take me today. It would be wiser for the two of you to begin the trip around if you're really in such a hurry. Or you can make camp here and wait for him to make the trip back if you prefer.
Interesting. So we can take the trip around the lake, and that seems to be not as dangerous, what she's saying. We can make camp here and wait for him to make the trip back. Why can't we just go with you? I don't need to turn my attention to Bemele to know he's riled up. I step in before he can say something rash.
Even if that is so, my companion and I must begin the trip tonight.
Margaret is unimpressed and opens her mouth to argue further.
We'll wait for the guide to arrive before coming to a conclusion about any of this.
I can already tell Margaret's not gonna make it. I like Bemele instead of Margaret right now. I think Bemele is the better choice, I think. So if we have to save anyone, we'll probably try to save Bemele. She clamps her mouth shut, then lets out a sigh.
You can do as you like.
She sounds like Hermione Granger. She's got that, like, voice. You know what I mean? Like the sighs and the holier than thou kind of thing going on. Like, smarter than you kind of thing. She reminds me of Hermione Granger. Like, in, like, the first few movies. Not, like, later when she turns into a badass. But, like, when she's a kid and she's like, ooh, expelled. With the matter tentatively settled, Bemele moves away. His finger begins to tap loudly against the top of his hilt. He shifts from one foot to another, then groans.
What's that bastard even up to?
I really can't wait, can you? I almost visibly start, but manage to restrain myself. He probably doesn't know any better. I'm sure of that. It's not worth mentioning. Something about bastard? Wait, hold on. Oh, here we go. Oh. Wait, history? Oh, okay. I can scroll down. Okay, I was confused for a second. What's that bastard even up to? Is bastard like a trigger word for us?
With a mouth like that, you shouldn't even have the right to ask the guide to take you across.
Damn, Margaret.
How ludicrous. He's faced far worse than a bit of foul language.
Goodness.
Do you know anything that's happened with this lake?
See, she thinks she's smarter than us.
I know enough.
Margaret is clearly not convinced, but she shrugs and makes a show of turning her back to him.
The guide's father is Garvin the Exemplar. Garvin never accepted the guide as his son, all the way up until he died in this lake. Your statement could be seen as tasteless.
Oh.
Bemele rubs the back of his neck, his face regretful. Yeah, maybe watch your words, Bemele.
My apologies to the guide. I didn't mean it that way. I never knew about his... well, that.
A smile spreads across my face, one I quickly wipe away. He really did just misspeak. The silence slowly stretches between the three of us, growing more awkward with each passing second. Margaret seems irritated, and Bemele seems abashed. Abashed. I'm sure you're forgiven, Bemele.
I know you. You are brash but not intentionally cruel. I'm sure all is well.
Bemele smiles and claps me on the back.
You're a good woman, Kika. Smart, too. You've never been here, yet you knew more of the guy than I did.
I know about Garvin, truthfully. Tales of his deeds were some of the only stories my parents ever told.
Interesting.
Is that so? You could tell me more about it sometime.
I pause, unsure how to respond to this type of request.
I would like that very much.
Ooh, I see a blush on your face. Do you guys see that? Cute, cute, cute.
Yes, I wouldn't mind that. It must wait until after this trip, though.
After the trip, Bemele, after the trip.
Of course. We should drop this topic sooner rather than later, in any case.
I agree.
Even if there's no harm meant, hearing someone mention Garvin is probably difficult for the guide, no matter what the circumstance. With the topic dropped, we each remain locked inside our own thoughts, not another word passing between us. Eventually, a small light appears on the bridge ahead, gently swaying through the foggy air. It gets closer and closer until it becomes apparent it's a figure carrying a lantern. That must be the guide, although I can't shake the ghostly aura it gives off. The figure steps onto the shore, but we wait for him to approach us instead of going to meet him. None of us are sure how close to the waters we can get before it's no longer safe. Oh, hello. You look fancy. And another blonde character. He stops in front of us and simply stares.
Are you the guide of Sinnlos?
The man nods. He has a sharp face and weary eyes.
Well, that's grand. We would like an escort across the lake.
Bemele motions to the two of us, and Margaret approaches, a strained smile on her face.
Hello, it's good to see you again. I'm ready to cross, as we've agreed upon.
The guide turns to face her as well, face remaining unchanged. It must not be a lie. He would have had to say something otherwise. She really does have a preference to travel with him. That's a problem. Why is that a problem?
Is there a way we can all begin the trip tonight?
Yes, I will allow all three of you to go. But with that many, at least one will die before we reach the other side.
Ooh, okay. So at least one person is gonna die. I furrow my brow. It's a disturbing addendum, and one offered with little emotion attached. Bemele glares back, asking without asking what we're supposed to do with such circumstances.
You should go around.
If we could, we would. The sentence hangs in the air, the second half unspoken. If you want to live.
We don't have time for that. There are people counting on us for protection. Why does she need to go?
Well, she was here first, so I think Margaret should go. I wouldn't mind going around with Bemele, but we would be short on time to getting to the village for help. He jerks a finger at Margaret, whose face contorts with anger.
I don't need to explain myself to you. My journey has already been put off once, and I was promised I could go today. I will be going under any circumstances.
And you'll probably be the one to die. She meets Bemele's eyes with a gaze of steel. He starts to speak and she cuts in. Oh my god.
An extra day or two shouldn't be that much of a problem for you. Whoever you're meeting can surely wait such a tiny amount longer. Patience is a virtue after all.
They're people that need us, though.
The night is only so long, and if we're still on the bridges when the sun comes up, we'll all die as they sink back below the surface. If you don't decide soon, no one will be going.
The guy is dispassionate, stoic. I would almost feel something's wrong with him if I didn't share the trait myself. Bemele pulls me to the side, jaw clenched tight.
That woman isn't armed.
His voice is low. He darts a glance at Margaret.
We can easily get her to back off if we make this into an actual fight. After all, we have to go tonight, yes? If one of us really is to die, it'll be her. Would staying be a worse fate than her death?
Well, she really wants to go, so I say we can't, like, stop her from going. I don't want to start a fight with her, but at the same time, she probably is going to be the one to die, so I don't know how I feel about that. I stare at the dock, refusing to meet Bemile's eyes and trying to keep my voice as level as possible.
We don't know her situation. This isn't a decision we can make for her.
Exactly. We can't make the decision for her. If she wants to go tonight, then she can go, but we also have to go tonight, so...
What?
Bemile leans in closer, apparently having missed what I said. I remove the sympathy for her in my response when I speak again.
The guide won't accept something like that, I assume.
Mm-hmm. His face is grim.
Then what else do you have in mind?
Let's just all go.
First of all, you and I cannot split up. Either we both stay, or we both go.
Right. That's not a question.
I cross my arms, a hand on my chin. I have full confidence in my abilities and in Bemile's, but there's no reason not to believe the guide knows exactly what he's talking about. If we go, he might not be able to give the group the attention we each deserve. That would mean we truly would be putting Margaret's life at risk on top of our own. Should we say nothing? Should we go? I think we should go.
And I believe you.
Bemile's reply is firm. My steadfastness seems almost weak in comparison to its certainty. He addresses the guide.
We shouldn't waste more time. Let's shove off.
The guide slowly turns around without even a nod to show his agreement. Margaret stares at Bemile and me, something of a resolve in her gaze, and she follows after the guide. At least she didn't insist we stay behind.
We should do what we can to protect her. It's our fault she's being put in even further danger.
Exactly my thoughts. We will take care of everything. Maybe I'm being naive, but I have no intentions of letting anyone fall victim to this lake.
That's not your choice.
Those monsters can starve.
It's not your choice now, is it? Someone's gonna die tonight. I've already been told that. I smile at him for a change, and Bemile eagerly smiles back. I think he likes us.
We're lucky to have each other in this, I think.
Aw, sweet. I hope you don't die. He turns to follow the others across. I will protect everyone on this trip. I will. We will make it through this. Then I step onto the dock and join them. Ooh, stepped foot on the bridges of Sinnlos. As soon as I step onto the wood, the temperature drops. The light of my lamp shines against the water's surface, as reflective as a mirror. Until we reach land again, death is only one small mistake away. Oh man. We fall into line with the guide leading the way. Margaret stays close to him, and I behind her, watching to make sure she doesn't slip on the slick, wet wood. Bemile brings up the rear. Each of us holds our lantern in front of us, but it does little good. The fog is thick and nigh impenetrable, consuming the light as if hungry for it. The writing in this is really good. It's very descriptive. I'm really enjoying that. Above the surface of the lake, it's deathly quiet. No longer is there the whispering wind, nor the sound of water lapping against the shore. It's just our own mismatched footsteps and the sound of my quickened breathing. My eyes drift back to the lake against my better judgment. It's no wonder there's not even the sound of water with how still the surface is. It seems almost sturdy, with the sheen of the sheen of a black marble floor. I've heard rumors the water of Sinnlos is heavier, more difficult to disturb than natural water. That just the weight of its oppressive cling is enough to keep someone down, even without them. Oh, the monsters? Something even darker than the abyss of the lake flickers just below the surface, or at least I think it does. I turn my gaze to Margaret's back. It's better to stay focused.
Fall back a bit. You're following me too closely.
The guy is looking over his shoulder, addressing Margaret.
I'm sorry.
Nervous?
If someone gets pulled into the lake, they'll instinctively reach for anything to hold on to. Do not let that be you.
Margaret's shoulders rise, and she nods with great seriousness.
I understand. Thank you for the advice.
He ignores her gratitude.
You can speak amongst yourselves if you so choose. as long as you pay attention to where you're going. There is no worth in listening to the sounds out there. If there's anything at all, it'll only be Nixi trying to set you on edge.
All right. Then, could you tell us your name? You didn't have a chance to properly introduce yourself, and I've only heard you being referred to as the guide.
I don't have a name.
You don't have a name? Can I give you a name? Bumblebutt. His name is Bumblebutt. He's facing the front again. His voice is expressionless as before. I have no way of guessing how he feels as he says this.
Oh.
Oh. It's probably not something he wishes to talk about. However, there was something else I wanted to say, so changing the subject is not difficult.
Margaret, thank you for allowing us to join you.
Margaret shrugs non-committally.
It wasn't exactly up to me. The guide said he would take you.
She hesitates, and then she looks tentatively over her shoulder at me.
But thank you for saying that. It's appreciated.
Aw, that's nice.
Bemele and I will do our best to be an asset on this trip, rather than a burden.
Oh, we're knights. We're something. We're officers. We're
That's
part of the
nice.
army.
I'm not afraid to be out here, though. Still, at least with your training, you should be able to take care of yourselves.
Hopefully. It's comforting to know that everyone here is so confident in their abilities, not enough to forget how terrible it feels to be over this lake. I'm not sure if that is fortunate or unfortunate. Believing yourself to be secure doesn't mean that you are. As the conversation lulls, a new sound breaks through. It's the whispering noise again. It's the chatter of inhuman voices, and this time coming from all around us. Ooh, spooky.
Taking care of yourself is exactly what you need to do.
The guide is speaking again, except louder, as if to cover the Nixi's voices with his own.
Work to survive at all costs, and hope that everyone around you has enough sense to do the same. That's the only way you'll make it to the other side.
Yeah, you hear that, Bemele? Don't make stupid choices. Margaret nods in response, but I hear a grunt from behind me. Bemele's gonna be an ass about it, isn't he?
Groups tend to go further when they work together to achieve the same goal.
The guide doesn't say anything in response to Bemele's grumbling either. I'm not sure whether he didn't hear Bemele or whether he just didn't feel the statements made thus far are worthy of addressing. I have a feeling it's the latter. We go around a large bend in the bridge, part of it forking off to another way. I feel like I've heard this song. This feels like classic visual novel, spooky music. I wonder if it was done just for this game, or I wonder if they took assets from a library or something. I wonder how the guide knows which one of these essentially identical paths is correct, when something on the corner of my eye catches my attention.
I believe I saw something over there.
Keep walking. No need to worry.
The guide's voice is calm and level. I decide against pressing the issue, not wanting to set everyone even more on edge.
What did he say?
Perhaps not wanting the conversation to be caught by the guide, he speaks softly, though I couldn't quite hear him because of it. I take my eyes off Margaret ahead for a moment to explain it to Bellamy and stop dead in my tracks. Only one word is able to escape me in my stunned state.
Behind.
Behind? Oh god, there's a thing behind him! I didn't even notice that until I looked. Ah, that's so spooky! Go away! Go away! Oh my god. Hold on, I need a drink. That's so spooky. Look at it. Oh my god. Can you guys see it? Behind Bemele stands another figure, looming in the darkness. Seeing my face, Bemele grabs the hilt of his sword. He whips around and then staggers swiftly backwards. Several meters away, a crooked, twisted black figure hobbles its way towards us. Some kind of liquid drips off its head, curling around the edges of its face. It almost looks like it's crying. Bemele backs up until he's standing beside me. The figure continues its slow advance, head jerking from one angle to another.
What on earth?
It's one of them.
Yes, Nixi that stumble across the bridges looking for opportunities.
Nixi. The guide is standing next to us. I didn't even notice him approach.
The ones that can make it out of the water are generally referred to as prowlers.
Prowlers.
I had no idea things like that were out here. Is that what Kika saw down the other path?
The guide says nothing, instead returning to the front of the party. Margaret watches him pass. Her frustration morphs into nervous optimism when something seems to come into her mind.
Well, Nixi aren't slowed down much by swords, but at least the light keeps them away, right?
Can we increase their voice volume? Let's increase that a little bit. Return. There we go. So hopefully this will be better. Margaret's hand grips her face tight. The desperation bleeds into her voice. I bite the inside of my lip.
Direct light will force it to return to the lake.
Oh, this is better.
However, it'll try to drag the light, or you, down with it before it goes.
Instinctively, I reach for the hilt of my sword, despite the fact that it would do little to protect me. The prowler is getting closer, jerking forward, stopping, then resuming its slow advance.
Okay. Does anyone have a light we can leave here? That way it won't follow us.
Only matches.
Bemele spits. He's the one bringing up the rear, so he's the one most likely to be in danger if it keeps following. The guide, however, moves forward.
Don't forget it's there, don't let your guard down, and don't get left behind.
Simple.
What? How am I supposed to keep walking with this thing at my heels? You said it wants to attack.
Don't give it the chance.
Yeah, it's probably slower than us. Bemele sputters in anger, and the guide summarily ignores him. I solidly grab hold of Bemele's upper arm. Come on.
Here, I'll lead you like this, and you can keep your focus solely on the prowler. Make sure it doesn't get too close.
Bemele eyes the guide with unresolved hostility, but allows him to softly sigh in relief. He gazes at me with fondness.
At least there's someone I can count on.
Don't say that. You might die tonight. There's 2 nights. Despite the fact I'm going against his advice, the guide says nothing more. It's clear now that he doesn't give a damn what we end up doing. Some part of me is glad for that. I want to help everyone make it through, and it would be worse to have to persuade the guide every time help was necessary.
Kika, thank you.
You're welcome, Bemele. Bemele places a gentle hand on my shoulder. Not seriously. Bemele's face hardens in return. He moves his free arm down. I fully link his arm with mine, and now properly settled, look forward. Margaret is following the guide with some reluctance, turning back every so often to check on us. I wave my lantern to signal we're catching up. Margaret turns her head to the front and quickens her pace. With a tug on Bemele, we start to follow them. The 4 of us continue cautiously over the bridges, only this time the wet, squishing footsteps of the prowler join the sound of our own. In spite of myself, I grip Bemele tighter. The prowler walks without a set pattern, sometimes fast, sometimes slow. Oh, okay, so it's not just slow all the time. It takes long steps and short ones. At times it stops walking entirely. Does it hurt to be out of the water like this, or is it trying to be difficult to read? Suddenly, the whispering in the lake grows louder. I steel myself, trying not to let it get to me. The most important thing in a situation like this is to remain calm. I can't lose my head. Yeah, we can't lose our head. Then, all at once, I notice the guide and Margaret have come to a halt.
Bemele, they're stopping.
Bemele slows down as I do, and as we reach Margaret's back, she says something akin to distress.
There's another one.
Oh, another one? I tug on Bemele and he understands. We drop close to Margaret, ready to protect her if need be, but the guide holds out a hand.
Don't get any closer.
Now there's another one. Just over his shoulder, I see another prowler stumbling towards us, white liquid dripping from its eyes. Oh god, that's terrifying. The guide's hand turns over in the air, palm up.
Give me a lantern. We'll throw it.
Margaret extends her own with a trembling hand when Bemele speaks instead, his back still turned.
If you have to take someone's, take mine.
Aw, that's very nice of you, Bemele.
Yes, an extra light won't do us much good when we're standing this close together.
Margaret takes Bemele's lantern from him, guarded relief displayed on her features.
Thank you.
She hands the lantern to the guide, whose hand grips it tightly, knuckles growing pale.
Stay here. I can't throw it too far. The light will blow out before it reaches the Nix.
He steps closer to the monster, his movements light and confident. As he nears, the prowler starts to back away. Is it only the approaching light that's making it retreat, or are they afraid of him? The guide is far enough away from us that the fog is partially obscuring him, hiding his movements. The voice from the lake grows louder and louder. Water suddenly begins to splash across the lake, in the distance and onto the edges of the bridge. They want him to mess up. Ooh, that's so spooky. Can you imagine walking across a bridge with other people and seeing these like monsters come out of the lake and monsters whispering in the lake all around you? That would be terrifying. I don't know if I could do that. I don't notice how tense I am until Bemele eases my grasp on his arm. Then, suddenly, the guide takes multiple long and fast strides forward, throws the lantern, and jumps backward to regain the lost distance. There's a sharp hiss and then a deep splash, and the voices of the Nixi grow quieter. Not silent, but quieter. A sigh escapes me, and the guide comes back to our group.
We should keep going, before it comes back.
I glance at Bemele and realize he, too, is looking relieved at the guide before us. And then I see it. The first prowler. It's still there. It's right there. Oh no. Pull Bemele forward. I shift around, pulling Bemele behind me. The prowler lunges after him, barely missing Bemele, but striking my lantern instead. The fire goes out, and the two of us are plunged into an unearthly darkness. Then there's a slick splash. I realize the Nix has retreated into the water. Somehow, Bemele and I are still standing. We're still here.
Kika, thank you.
That was close. What happened? What happened? I can't respond. Oh no! Something cold, wet, and slimy has grabbed my ankle. Kick it off. I kick my leg out as fast as I can, and the Nix's hold slips. It can't pull with the momentum I've gained against it. Margaret rushes to my side, her lantern hanging out towards the Nix. The light brushes its face. We see it for an instant, its eyes wide, and then it slides back into the smooth surface of the water. Bemele grabs Margaret and I both, helping us towards the center of the bridge and cussing under his breath.
I only looked away for 1 second.
Yeah, I know.
It's fine, Bemele. We're all fine.
That was close.
Are you actually alright?
Margaret cocks her head down, examining my ankle, but there's nothing but a wet smudge around my trousers.
I am fine.
That's good. I say that, though I don't actually want to let go of Bemele. I need to in order to relay our lantern and provide us actual safety, but I feel such a strong desire not to be alone in this moment. I shake my head roughly and let go of him, relighting the lantern as fast as I'm able.
Kika, thank you. Again. You saved my life. I won't let this happen again.
I hope not.
Yes. Yes. It would be good for all of us to pay more attention.
Margaret nods solemnly. Suddenly, it seems like we're all on the same side. It isn't only Bemele and I. She is with us in more than simply presence. The guide's voice, as cold as that monster's grasp, ends my train of thought.
We lost the lantern I threw. The Nix grabbed it after the light went out.
Margaret makes a noise. I glance over, wondering whether she's upset, but there's a small smile on her face instead.
It's better than them taking anything else.
That's true. That's very true. A nervous laugh bubbles up out of me and just as quickly stops. Bemele chuckles in response, and our collective tension eases up and the adrenaline draining from our bodies.
We need to keep walking.
The guide stares down the bridge again, and we join him. I try to clamp down on the relief, the ease that wants to flood my head. It's not over. The prowler is gone, but so is Bemele's lantern.
You can stay near me, Bemele, since your lantern is lost.
I appreciate it.
Margaret goes on ahead of us. Bemele stays by my side as I keep the end of the line. The breath of release for Margaret and Bemele is quickly swallowed by the somber atmosphere of Sinnlos as well, replaced by the gravity of the near-death experience. I just got that song out of my head. God damn it. Never mind celebrating his survival. Something like that shouldn't have happened in the first place. The memory of the prowlers reaching out towards us appears each time I close my eyes.
Why does it look like something's dripping down their faces?
Because they're coming out of water? The prowlers are on Margaret's mind too. Looking at her pained expression, it's as though the moment of relief never existed at all.
I'm not sure.
Me neither. Something's wrong with them, though.
They live in water. Air shouldn't be good for the things, but they want to drown humans so much they're willing to drag themselves around on land? It's not right.
Of course it isn't. They are monsters. They likely do not understand even the concept of right and wrong.
Well, I don't disagree that there's something very wrong about them. I truly hope that's the last we'll see of the prowlers.
Margaret's voice actress is very nice. I like the way that she delivers these lines. Something comes to her mind, causing Margaret to end her part of the conversation early.
Since you two have to share a light, wouldn't it be safer to be in the middle?
Yeah, but who's gonna protect you? Margaret stops and waits for Bamel and I to reach her position.
That way, you'll catch the edges of my light and the guides, and it won't be so dangerous if Bamele loses his position momentarily.
Bamele.
That's a very kind offer, Margaret.
It was a kind offer. Bamele's surprise is so apparent, I want to cover his face with my hands to stop him from insulting her. She merely smirks. I think Margaret may be surprised with herself, too. Bamele returns to his usual surety.
As thoughtful as it is, I, at least, am fine with bringing up the rear. I'm used to keeping watch for monsters, and since there are two of us, I can pay attention to the back while Kika focuses ahead.
It'll be fine. I don't think we need to move to the middle.
It's not my light, though, so I shouldn't be the one to decide what she should do with it.
Margaret and Bamele turn to look at me in unison. Seems like it's my decision. Neither of them are wrong. As for me, my goal is to protect everyone. I can't very well do that with Margaret following behind us. But being stuck in the middle of the group could also be dangerous depending on what circumstances we come across. Getting pincered by the enemy would be an almost sure death, no matter how experienced Bamele and I are. I just don't know what to expect from this bridge, and that makes things so much more difficult. The current format has worked so far.
So you're staying behind?
Yeah, we'll be behind. We'll be in the back. That's okay.
Seems like it.
Yes, I think we'll be good here. But really, thank you. That was a very kind offer.
I feel like there's a playthrough of this game where we just don't say anything and we don't do anything. I wonder what would happen. I wonder what would have happened if we just hadn't done anything with that Nix that was on our ankle. I wonder what would have happened. Would we have been pulled into the water, or would Bamele have saved us? Or Margaret, maybe? Because she had the lantern.
Well, alright.
Margaret respects our decision and trots ahead a bit to catch back up with the guide. He has paid no mind to the entire affair.
So, I don't want to sound like a child, but how much longer until we arrive at the halfway point?
Margaret chuckles, reflecting the amusement I don't want to vocalize.
We still have some ways to go.
Damn.
Damn, yeah, we've been out here for like 20 minutes. Calm down. I suppress my laughter yet again at his pouting response. The gloom we've been under dissipates slightly, like light flickering through the fog.
The first trial tends to be the most difficult. I believe we will only react better from this point on.
The guy doesn't seem too worried.
I like the way you think.
Oh no, we're building up a rapport with Margaret. Then a gleam enters Bamele's eyes and he grins.
I think Kika deserves a round of applause. Her quick reflexes are owed the utmost appreciation.
I don't think we need to do a round of applause for that though. Let's calm down a little bit. We're not out of the woods yet. He leans softly into my shoulder, trying to get me to... What?
It was indeed a sight. You're quite capable. Bamele was also a sight, but for very different reasons. The way he froze with his mouth all agape was a laugh in itself.
Oh my god. Bamele shakes a fist at Margaret in mock anger, then shoots me an affectionate look.
You should know, she and I are usually on equal footing.
The only reason you had footing at all is because she pulled you back.
Saved you. Bamele laughs self-consciously, scratching his head.
That's very true. You can always count on Kika.
Oh, don't say that. Don't say that. One of you is gonna die. I keep my eyes steadily ahead, unsure how I should respond. I'm pleased, almost grateful, to hear what they think of me, but I don't know what I could say that wouldn't seem pathetic. Instead, I contribute the best way I can. I keep my focus on the path ahead of us. Without a response from me, the conversation quickly dies out. Still, it eases my heart to be on such friendly terms with my companions. Interesting. After some time, I notice Margaret isn't keeping up with the guide as much as she was before. I realize it's because the guide has increased his pace. Margaret begins to jog in an effort to keep up with him, and Bamele and I do the same. Despite this, the guide keeps getting further away. Uh-oh. We go faster and faster until suddenly we're full on sprinting across the slick wooden boards. Figures in the dark fog fly past us in a blur, and it occurs to me that the branching paths in the bridge appear to be sinking. Uh-oh. I try hard to swallow my rising panic. The guide shouts something, but it's drowned out by the frantic pounding of our footsteps. I'm trying to piece together what he said. Don't stop, turn. When he takes a masterfully sharp right down a different path, using his own momentum and the sleek wood to slide into the new direction with no loss of speed. Ooh, that's a neat trick. Do that again. Don't stop, turn, though. Don't stop, turn here, maybe? Margaret must not have worked out the warning either, as she's completely caught off guard by the guide's changing course. She runs straight ahead past the turn and continues down the path we've been following up until now. Uh-oh, bye, Margaret. She clumsily begins to halt her momentum down the wrong bridge. Then I come up on the fork. Turn. Make a hard turn, following the guide and leaving Margaret at the rear. But Millie's footsteps stay as loud as they were before. He's made the turn, as close behind me as ever. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Margaret turn around to try to come back to us, only to have the bridge in front of her fall away. Uh-oh. Bye, Margaret. I slow down for a breath, feeling the impulse to turn back, but ignore it. There's no time. Margaret can make the jump, and then she'll rejoin us. I keep my eyes glued to the guide's back, ears perked for Margaret's footsteps approaching behind us. And then I hear it. A scream. Uh-oh. Bye, Margaret! I whip around, sliding to a stop. Margaret is sinking. The bridge she's on is sinking into the water. She's disappearing. She didn't jump.
What are you doing?
Margaret's head shoots up, her face drained of all color.
Jump!
Jump! She stumbles near the edge of the bridge, staring at the placid water of the lake. Even from a distance, I can see her shaking. I can't say if it's from the bridge's descent or her own fear. She barely seems to remain standing. I swallow painfully. Margaret bends and tries to jump. She curves in a small arc, achieving more height than she should, and lands directly in the lake with a muted splash. Uh-oh. 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 Bemile starts beside me, but I grab his hand and pull. We start running again, leaving Margaret flailing in the water behind us. Bye, Margaret. We don't need to watch this. We both know exactly what will happen to her now. Margaret's anguished cries pierce the night, then the screaming stops. My legs grow weak. It isn't right, but I push myself to keep going. The price one must pay. Inevitability. Ew. She didn't jump. She didn't turn either. Bemile curses between heavy breaths, calling those things every foul name in his large book. I try to focus on the pounding of my feet, but my brain won't cooperate. Instead, I imagine Margaret's terror as she's clawed to pieces by the Nixi. After everything, I didn't even help her. We left her in the dark. As the night wears on, our strength rapidly fades. How much longer will this last? People have to rest sometime. Almost as if in response to my thought, the guide abruptly halts. I skid to a stop as well, sliding on the surface of the wood.
Why did we stop?
Yeah, we were on like a full sprint for a while. Bemile's voice is tired, but his guard is up. The guide doesn't answer, just stares at something slightly out of view. I step up to join him, following his gaze further down the path. Oh, there's a person. There's another person. There, curled in a little ball, illuminated by the lantern's light, cowers a person. His hands grip his head and he rocks from side to side, mumbling incoherently.
It's a man.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I couldn't. I just couldn't. Please. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's so sad. I'm struck with an array of questions. What is going on? Why would he wander out into the bridges on his own? Did he make it this far by himself? Were there others with him? If that's somehow the case, I can't blame him for the state of shock he's in. The man stops mumbling. He glances above him, seemingly only now just having the strength to lift his head. His expression, the deepest sadness, along with clear markings of terror, are scrawled across his face. I stare at him in shock, not sure what to do.
Leave him.
Leave him? Oh, why? I snap my eyes away from the man, and instead the guide's cold, implacable face. Implacable? Implicable? How do you say that word?
No! We can't just leave him here. Without light, it's certain he'll die.
He won't make it regardless.
The guide turns to look at us, his eyes seeming to glow from the closeness of his lantern. For the first time, I feel uncomfortable in his presence.
Whoever shelters him will only risk dragging themselves down with him. Leave him.
He's not our problem. I glance at my partner. Abimelech is outraged. I'm trying to think of some kind of compromise when the guide speaks again, his voice cutting.
If the man comes, then whoever is shielding him will have to remain at a distance from the rest of the group. Far enough that you can't see me, just my light. That is how you will travel across the bridges.
Why?
I didn't agree to lead this man, and I won't. If you ask me to, I will leave you all behind.
Adrenaline surges through my veins and I tense up. It's a painful reminder that the guide isn't here to save our lives, but merely to show us the way. We're on our own. Abimelech and I frantically share more looks between each other, trying to communicate without words. Neither of us have a desire to speak and be the first to make a choice. The man is standing now, though still hunched with his arms wrapped around himself as if expecting a blow. He stares at the ground rather than at us. Because of this, I'm having trouble reading his face. What exactly happened to him? No, we're not saving you. We're on a mission. We gotta go to this town across the bridge to go save people. We can't worry about the other people on the bridge. We have a mission to do.
Are you well, stranger? Do you know where you are and why you're here?
He glances up, not at me, but towards me, his eyes resting somewhere near my collarbone.
I'm fine. You all can go on your way. Forget you even saw me here.
See, he even says so.
That's absurd. You have no way to defend yourself. We can't leave you.
We have to.
Yes, I'm sure in your eyes I might not seem like much, but that's not exactly a fair shake. Maybe in a perfect world, every man would be as large as you. But that's not how things always go. Doesn't mean I'm defenseless.
The man's response is meandering. The words themselves seem to be in good jest, but he's still barely looking at us, fidgeting with his hands. Abimelech frowns, unimpressed.
It was a joke.
He smiles hesitantly, making eye contact with each of us for the first time.
What part of it was supposed to be the joke? Do you even realize what is happening in this moment?
Abimelech, calm down.
Never mind. Forget that too. Point is, I'm alright.
You have found yourself out alone and unlit on Sinnlos.
Exactly. Something must be wrong with you.
Oh no, sounds like you've been talking with my father.
He lets out a weak little laugh coupled with an eyebrow raise, voice trembling. No one really knows what to make of this. The man gives a small wave and begins down the path we came. Abimelech huffs, tossing his hands into the air.
That's not even the right way.
It is for me.
Oh? You must have come quite a ways if it was the other shore you started on.
The man's smile grows.
Good. That's not so bad.
Yeah, he's like more than halfway across. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. There's no response to this remark, unsure of what could be said.
I still think he should come with us. A person needs a light, and the guide himself said he won't be able to manage on his own. Sticking with us is his best
He's going
option.
in the opposite direction. No. I look over the man's body, noting the scrawniness of his limbs. Scrawny, but not necessarily lacking in muscle. The bravado he was showing as he tried to leave us has faded yet again, and now he's standing quietly, looking at us as if watching a play. Interest, but no true connection to the events.
It's easy for you to say such things, but whose light are you offering?
You already gave up your right, Bellarmine.
It's not mine, and you are putting her in even more danger with your own presence already.
Abimelech's hands turn into fists. He looks away but doesn't say anything. For a moment, no one does. I feel a cold sweat on my brow as what I feared comes to pass. He's stopping us from protecting another. Why must he get involved now? Why can he not leave us to make our own decisions?
You. Don't worry about me. I'll be on my way now.
The man's voice is full of something I cannot place, and he starts to shuffle back down the way we came, arms still clenched around himself. I know the guide wants to act as though there was no option. However, I could stay back with him. It'll put Abimelech and myself at significantly more risk, but at least this man will stand a chance. Nope. We're gonna do nothing. I can't risk it. Nope, we can't risk it. We have a mission. We're getting across this lake to go help a bunch of townspeople, and we can't afford... This guy's going in the opposite direction on top of it, so I don't even think he would want to come. He doesn't even seem to want to come with us, so what's the point? Like, no, just let him go. He'll be fine, probably. I don't know. It's not my problem. It's not my problem. Am I evil? Am I a bad guy? Am I the bad guy? Bemele stares at the man as he leaves. We both watch him drag his little frame down the bridge, quickly fading from sight. We had to let him go. We already suffered the loss of one of our own. Yeah, we already lost Margaret. The space the man vanished into is dark and silent. We can see and hear nothing of him, not even his footsteps. The guide was right. There are no other options. Well, that is what I have to believe. We need to get through this somehow, and being weighed down with guilt will only distract us. Exactly. Don't feel guilty. The guide starts moving again at a quick pace. After a moment's hesitation and one last glance into the truly lifeless fog, we run to catch up to him. We walk onwards in silence. Our party hasn't changed. The stranger was never added to it, so it's not as if it makes sense to miss him, but there's a sense of loss all the same. No one even attempts mirth. I keep thinking I should have done more. Should have pushed the guide harder to change his mind so it was less dangerous to keep the man around. Something, anything. But I have to let this go. I'm not going to forget that man. I'll never forget him. But we still need to get through this. I curl my hands in a fist, hoping they'll strengthen my resolve. Then I push forward. We turn down a different path and the guide stops. Ahead of us stands a group of prowlers. At the sound of us, they turn their heads in unison, as if they knew we were coming. I inhale. The prowlers wiggle somehow, their skin moving more slowly than it should, sliding across their skeletons. They laugh.
We cannot lose another lantern at this point. We're almost to the island.
The guide rummages through his coat with his free hand.
What are you planning?
The male's tone is borderline threatening, but the guide ignores him. He pulls out a small pouch and then opens the latch on his lantern.
Wait, are you going to throw that at them? What if the bridge sets on fire?
The bridge isn't gonna set on fire. It's wet, Bemele. What are you talking about?
It will. We're going to run.
Okay, never mind. I guess the bridge is gonna light on fire. I'm not sure how, but...
This is insane! These bridges are hellish enough without them also being on fire.
Well, that's the only way we're getting through this pack of prowlers, Bemele.
And what about the other man? If he's still out there, this could...
He's dead. We're not losing another lantern.
He says it with such detached certainty, as if he saw it's as if he saw it happen himself. No one argues with him. The guide steps closer to the prowlers. We fall into step behind him, staying close to his back. He bends his lantern back down until it is lowered to his outstretched arm. The pouch in his hand is set aflame. With a practiced flick of his wrist, he swings the staff back and up. The glass in the lantern snaps closed.
Don't get left behind.
We didn't last time. He takes 2 quick steps, then tosses the pouch. The prowlers are back in the water before the pouch even lands. As soon as it does, the fire starts to lick and curl itself around the wood. The guide breaks into a sprint, and so do the rest of us. The blaze grows despite the heavy dampness from the lake. These bridges aren't normal bridges. Of course, that's true. Nothing here is right. Hopefully they won't collapse with the flames. There's plenty of bridges, though. We stay on the guide's heels, almost too close for comfort. If he stops abruptly, we'll all crash into one another, maybe even fall off the bridge. Then the world tilts. I was mid-stride when I put my foot down. The bridge isn't where it was. It lurches to one side, either because it was weakened or pushed. Bemele and I manage to keep our ground, as does the guide. He presses on without even bothering to see if we were able to follow. Bemele growls in frustration as we push to keep up with the guide's pace. As the storm of our feet thunder across the boards, a silver sliver begins to rise into view just above the edge of the water.
It's the island.
Oh, thank God. The island. I squint and suddenly make out the craggy forms of land and earth. I see it. We're almost there. Safety at long last. In sight. New energy surges through me. We push ourselves faster, longing to put these godforsaken bridges behind our backs. All at once, the bridge ends and our entire group rushes ashore. Earth, solid earth, a haven from the water. I catch my breath while we're still moving even further away from the dark shoreline. I can't believe we actually made it. Even more difficult is the idea that we're only halfway done. When night falls once more, we have to do it all again. A heavy arm falls across my shoulders, and I straighten to see Bemele smiling wearily at me.
Good work out there.
Not really. We lost 2 people. It's not the usual commendation of a job well done. There's sadness, perhaps even sympathy in his sentence. It ends flatly. Usually, Bemele's comfort and good nature gives me at least the urge to smile, but right now I feel like it's a hollow victory. Despite still having the comfort of one another, we were incapable of doing any true good. We were only able to save ourselves. A quiet moment passes between us. And then the guide is there. He moves so smoothly that his steps on the soft sand are nearly silent, and his dusky clothes blend with the thinning of the night.
The sun will rise soon. The fire on the bridge is the only reason this island isn't overrun with prowlers right now. However, they could still pose a threat.
Interesting. Bemele leaves an empty look towards the guide. Levels an empty look towards the guide.
Is there something we should do?
Come. I guess you didn't want to say that. The guide takes us to an area a bit further inland, but not too far from the water. Trees partially obscure our location, and there's enough room to watch the coast in case prowlers start to emerge from the water. Essentially, it's a place where an ambush would be hard.
If any of you see anything at all, speak up. We don't want them to sneak up on us.
Very true. Almost automatically, each member of the group turns to a different direction. As the sky continues to fade from pale purple to a muted blue, the waters stay silent. For the first time, nothing happens. It's a miracle. Suddenly, my chest is lighter and the air is fresher. The first pricks of light appear over the horizon, stinging my eyes after such a long journey through darkness. The sound catches my attention, and I move my focus towards its direction. The guide is opening the latch on his lantern again. He gently, almost respectfully, blows out the light.
We no longer have to worry about the Nixi. It is over for today.
Interesting. I'm almost unable to keep tears of relief from pouring out at those words. We made it through the night. We survived. No one feels the need to speak. We look at each other, an understanding passing between us. Then we find our own space, as comfortable as we can get, and lie down for the rest we weren't sure would ever come. Oh, I'm having a hard time reading today. I still feel really bad about Margaret. I bet if we hadn't made a choice when we were supposed to turn, I bet we would have gone with her. And it would have been the three of us for a while. Maybe we could have saved her. But I'm playing this game the way I want to play it. And how I want to play it is that we are getting to these townsfolk no matter what happens. Even if I have to sacrifice other people. Which I'm pretty sure we have to sacrifice other people. That other guy was going the wrong direction. We couldn't have saved him. He also let somebody else die, I bet. Because he was scared. I don't know. We could have learned more about them if we'd saved them, but... Nope. My eyes slowly blink open and readjust to the brightness, what little there is. The sun is obscured by a thick layer of fog, making it impossible to estimate the time of day. I prop up my elbows and push myself up. The ground is hard and rocky, but that isn't the only reason I'm eager to get on my feet. I check my surroundings. The harsh, craggy earth of the island is interlaced with twisting vines and gnarled branches. Beside me, Bemele is still fast asleep. The guide, however, is nowhere to be seen. I realize that I don't recall seeing him lay down with everyone. It's likely he left us hours ago. There is a creeping silence here. I can't help but shudder at the hollow, aching feeling inside of me. It refuses to relent. I shift my weight back and forth, unsure of what to do with myself. Memories of last night's harrowing journey flicker through my mind. Bemele wakes suddenly, rising with alarm. My mouth opens and shuts, and after a moment of fumbling, a word finally escapes.
Hello.
Hello. Bemele gives me a gentle smile and makes his way over to me.
Morning.
Morning. Not really, like afternoon, probably. A pocket of quiet descends over us. Bemele sighs, the atmosphere is weighing on him already.
We should eat something soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
A distinct rustling of leaves around catches my attention. The guide appears, emerging from the thicket. Bemele glares at him as he makes his way over.
The Nixi will not tread on land in daylight. However, being near the shoreline is still dangerous. If you leave the center of the island, remain cautious.
Interesting.
Before the sun sets, I will be in this area. It would be wise to meet me here before nightfall.
Why do you do this?
Bemele. I sharply turn towards Bemele as he snarls and confronts the guide.
If you had just let him follow behind us, if you had been there before, none of this would have happened.
That's not his problem, though. He's just a guide.
They didn't have to die.
They probably would have anyways, though. The guide looks away, seemingly unaffected.
If all you're going to do is leave everyone to be lost, then why bother guiding us at all?
Despite Bemele's severe words, the guide apparently considers his piece here finished. He turns towards the forested area from which he came.
Wait.
Bemele calls out to the guide, reaching towards him. Before he can make contact, I quickly place a hand on his shoulder. He lowers his arms to his side, though I can still feel wrath emanating from him. We stay this way until the guide disappears from view. Bemele begins to kick at the ground, spraying tiny pieces of gravel about. Bemele, you're so... Man, I don't know if I like you anymore. We already... I kind of like Margaret more than Bemele, but I guess it's for another playthrough.
Bemele, I know you're angry, but regardless of our feelings, we need the guide. If he leaves us, we'll all die.
And we've done so well with him.
We're still alive. I give him a cold glance. We won't even know which bridge to take without the guide. Bemele knows that. This needs to stop. There are people counting on us to make it back.
We can't afford to lose our way.
The anger etched in his expression fades into sadness.
I can't stay here right now.
Quietly, I speak. Bemele, wait. Should we say anything? I kind of want to go speak with the guide, but I don't think he's going to give us any answers. We'll stick with Bemele. I speak too softly for Bemele to hear. Lingering for only a moment, I start following the trail Bemele took. It doesn't take him long to notice I'm there, and he slows his pace so I can easily catch up. We fall into step for a short while, neither of us speaking. Eventually, we come to a thick stand of trees and wordlessly weave our way through the branches. Once we're hidden by the foliage, Bemele leans against a tree trunk, head hung low. Negativity radiates off of him, but I don't know what I should say. Fortunately, he breaks the silence.
I apologize for back there.
Yeah, bet. I nod firmly. His reply isn't unexpected. For as long as I have known Bemele, he has had a tendency to let his temper flare, then regret it later after processing his thoughts.
I know that dealing with these sorts of situations calmly is part of the job. But I cannot tell myself everything is fine or that none of it matters.
That's true.
Sure, I can feel something without it being anger, but I've not figured that out either.
Rather than speak, I try to listen as supportively as I can while Bemele continues to argue with himself. He sighs while pensively rubbing the bridge of his nose.
Am I simply being foolish?
Maybe.
Would it really have been so harmful to try and help someone else instead of focusing solely on oneself? It looks to me like we're telling ourselves these lines to avoid responsibility.
Maybe. Am I avoiding responsibility by... I don't think so. I was gonna say, like, our responsibility is to get across the bridge and help the townsfolk, right? From the brigands. That's our responsibility. We don't have a responsibility to these other people that are trying to make it across the bridge. We don't have a responsibility towards them. We may feel that we do, but it's not our responsibility to take care of literally everybody. We have a mission. We were sent out to do a specific thing, and we tried our best to help Margaret, at least, because she should have jumped earlier, but she didn't make the turn, and that one guy was going in the wrong direction. He was going... He probably would have made it to the other side, maybe. There might have been prowlers and stuff, but still. Like, he made it so far on his own. Well, with other people, I suppose. And being sacrifices. Maybe he wasn't so great. I don't know. I don't think we're doing it to avoid responsibility. Maybe we are, but I think that just makes me a little bit evil.
I don't know. It's possible you helping would have worked better. It's also possible it would have been worse.
Exactly. Like, if we had gone after Margaret, we would have been on the sinking bridge with her. And we would have all died. Bemele stares across the empty waters of Sinnlos.
I want it to be clear that I have not forgotten that those people across this lake are depending upon us. Not for a moment.
But would they want us to be so focused on them that we should turn a blind eye to others right in front of us?
Maybe. But that's not our choice. That we the choice of the villagers to accept us or not. Which, again, our mission is just to get to the villagers.
Even if they would, does that matter? We are more than weapons. We are people.
Very true.
Do we have to cast that aside? Turn away from our fellow humans? Just to achieve a so-called greater good?
It is not as though this village is a haven of saints. They are only as worthwhile as we are, and these people on the bridges with us, aren't they?
Maybe, but the people on the bridges made the choice to go across the bridge. They chose knowing that they might not make it.
I don't know.
I don't know. I can feel the weight of his words settle upon me. I've had similar thoughts and have questioned what the correct choice is, but unlike Bemele, I've always been silent. I clench my fist tight to try and stop from saying something rash. Bemele closes his eyes tight and rubs his face again. It is clear that this hasn't been enough to give him much peace. Eventually his eyes reopen and look directly into mine.
What do you think about all this, Kika? Please, be honest with me. I want to hear it.
Everybody else that would have gone with us, Margaret and that guy whose name we didn't get, they all made the choice to cross the bridge knowing that it would potentially kill them. So I don't think we should feel bad per se. I don't really see a way of us having saved Margaret, but that other guy we could have let go with us, but the guide wouldn't guide him. So it would have been much more dangerous for everybody else just to have this one guy go with us. And he didn't even want to go with us. Suddenly my eyes are hot. My vision blurs slightly from tears I desperately am trying to hold back.
Really don't know. That is the truth.
My words are soft. Whether he heard or not, the look on my face is enough to garner attention. His eyebrows shoot up in surprise. He walks over to me slowly, concerned.
Kika, what is troubling you?
What's troubling you? The same shit that you're going through.
I don't have the answers to what you are wondering. Who are we meant to protect? Everyone we can? Whoever we're told to serve and no one else? Just ourselves? Should we only try to protect others when the risk is minimal? I have no idea what the right option is.
Me either. I have no idea. Bemele's confusion only mounts with my words.
I am sorry for disappointing you.
No, you haven't disappointed me in any way. I never should have expected someone else to give me answers to those kinds of questions.
It is only... I did not think that...
He does not finish his thought, but I know what he meant to say. We're too stoic and serious, right? Would we even be affected? Is that what you're trying to say?
You did not think I was concerned with these issues?
Exactly, He smiles awkwardly over being caught.
Yes. You never seemed to be bothered by anything we experienced before now.
Yeah, but now we're like sacrificing people, and that's hard. It's hard for other people. It's not hard for me. I have no responsibility to any of you. If you all die, then that's just content for me, okay? With his words, my carefully held resolve crumbles. In an instant, my cheeks are wet with hot fluid cooling in the chill air as it slips down my face.
I have always cared. I've always been afraid and confused, but I have kept up a...
I stop and gasp for air, my throat almost as tight as when we were running on the bridges.
a farce of strength in order to get by.
I breathe deeply with relief, terrified and lightheaded from my confession. Bemele's voice is as delicate as flower petals.
I had no idea. How could I not have noticed?
Because I did whatever I could to make sure no one did. I have never wished to appear weak in front of others. But the truth is, I barely get through each day. I often feel overwhelmed with sadness at all that we have experienced.
Bemele gently places his hands on my shoulders as I try not to sob wildly.
Kika, I truly apologize for all the thoughtless things I have said to you.
Yeah. I shake my head, sniffling.
There is no need for you to apologize.
He smiles, the warmth almost enough to make me forget the damp.
I beg to differ. I have failed to treat you right.
You have always been respectful.
A person needs more than respect from their comrades. needs. They also need support. I have never given you that kind of consideration because I believed someone like you did not need it.
The same could be said for me.
Nonsense. You have listened to my rambling on more occasions than I can remember. Though I admit my memories may not be there due to being drunk many of those times.
Emily laughs at himself while glancing in my direction to encourage me to do the same. His comforting words make me smile, and I feel my tears finally cease to fall. Then I will continue to support you. He grins wider than he has since we began this horrible journey.
You have my thanks.
I got you, Bemeline. I got you, Bemeline. Abruptly, his expression becomes serious once more.
I will come to answer these questions someday. But no matter what I decide, I will still put trust in your judgment.
Thank you. I fear I may not live up to the belief he has in me, but I nod firmly. Yeah, me either. I don't feel like I don't think I can live up to the belief that he has in us. I don't know if our choices are really going to be things that he's going to be able to accept. But we have to get through it. We have to get across the lake. One way or another. He returns my nod.
Perhaps we should go check how everything is on the island.
Don't you guys still need to eat, too?
That sounds like an excellent idea. And I will accompany you, of course.
Glad to hear it.
Together, we walk back towards the interior of the island. Both of our moods lift as we stay side by side. Emily and I head through the wooded part of the island. There isn't anything that could be called a path, but we managed to pick our way through the bush quite well. I'm having such a hard time reading today. Hold on, let me clean this. Hold on. Through a thinner stand of trees, we briefly catch sight of the guide standing on one of the beaches. He seems fine, but even though I'm sure he turned his head towards me, he makes no show of acknowledging us. Okay, hopefully this will be better. Oh yeah, that's a lot better. It takes less time than I would have hoped for us to see all that there is on this isolated place. Now we will have there should be a 2 there. Now we will have to spend time simply waiting, a far more unpleasant task. We seat ourselves underneath a large tree at the meeting point. There's no sign of the sun setting, and I find myself becoming increasingly restless. I release a breath. I've yet to shake the dark and troubling thoughts coursing through my mind. A pat on my back grants me a moment's reprieve. It truly is just the 2 of us. Deep sorrow stirs inside me at that thought. However, having Bemele here with me gives at least some comfort. I lean against his shoulder and he doesn't move to stop me. We sit together quietly as we wait for the sun to descend into the sky. Why can't we walk on the bridges when it's sunny if they're not gonna come out? Huh, interesting. The sky turns orange as sunset comes upon us. As the color seems to drain from the world, being consumed by the fog, the guide makes his appearance.
It's almost time.
I nod and feel myself grow tense. We truly are about to return to those bridges. All of us wait in uncomfortable silence until night falls. I'm not gonna lose you, Bemele. We're in this together. Night settles like a shroud over the land, each inch of the world now covered in unrelenting darkness. Suddenly, there is a gurgling. The water parts as the bridges of Sinnlos rise, powered by some unnatural force, creaking like they might fall apart. Oh, that's why we can't go on them during the day, because they don't exist. There's no bridges. The bridges only appear at night. Oh, okay. That would make sense. I feel an inexplicable pounding like a hammer in the back of my head, beating faster and heavier than my own heart. I clench my teeth to stop it from churning my stomach.
We must go now.
The guide doesn't wait for any replies, briskly starting in the direction of the shore. Bemele and I match his pace. I can feel the air weighing on us, a sensation that slows our steps despite being rested. Something hovers in my mind, the mirrored memory of the beginning of last night's journey. One day ago feels like a lifetime passed. The thick, inky water sloshes reluctantly off the boards, bleeding back into the lake, until finally it stills. A shudder crawls over my body as I place my foot on the boards, but I quickly shake it off. I have no other option. We have to go through this again. Only one more time. All tense as day-old corpses, we walk over the bridges in silence. The only sound that accompanies us is the thick lapping of the water at the bridge. Bemele stays close to my side with a sour expression on his face. He evidently has little interest in masking his disgust. He murmurs something beneath his breath, but it's inaudible. I decide not to ask about it. It wasn't meant for me to hear. It feels as though barely any time has passed when it is explained that half the night has crept by. We encountered a few sunken bridges which forced us to reroute, while other paths were rotten enough to make us stagger our steps. However, the biggest threat of all is eerily absent, the Prowlers. I haven't seen more than shadowy glimpses of them down our other paths, and even those may have simply been tricks of the fog. I feel I may be even more on edge tonight than the last. Judging by Bemele's tenseness, he isn't set at ease by their lack of presence either.
Why?
I whisper the question softly, almost silently, as I scan left and right across the impossibly empty bridges for any sign of movement. I wonder whether they're still weary from the consuming blaze that lit up the night yesterday, or if there are less dragging themselves across the bridges than usual because many have gotten what they wanted. My skin curls with a touch of icy fingers at the thought, and I can't control the sharp shiver that travels down my spine. Bemele catches my concern, and he brings himself closer to my ear.
This isn't right. It shouldn't be nearly this easy to cross. Not after what we went through the other night.
True.
Could they be planning something?
Probably. Can they plan anything? Are they smart enough to plan ambushes? Bemele lightly shakes his head. He speaks with suspicion in his voice as he peers at the guide ahead.
I don't know.
As time passes by, we continue to see nothing but more bridges and fog. Besides me, Bemele is becoming more and more agitated the longer we go without disruption. I can read Bemele well enough to know that his anger is still directed at the guide rather than the bridges themselves. It was my hope that he would be able to contain his feelings toward our lead until we had put this maze behind us. That is becoming unlikely. Bemele, no, don't, freak out. Just be calm. Just be calm and stoic and use your strength to get through this. There's no place for anger here. I resolve to step in before he grows too heated, and there is yet another hazardous argument.
Your concentration is clouded, Bemele. What is troubling you?
Yeah.
Surely you're already aware. It's him.
Bemele glowers hatefully at the guide. I purse my lips for a moment before continuing, resigned.
I do know that. However, you need to stop allowing that to consume you, or else you could get hurt. Or even...
Bemele releases an exasperated sigh while crossly folding his arms.
That is impossible. I can't stop myself from thinking about it. Everything makes so much sense now.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
Recall yesterday. I asked him why he would lead others at all if he was heartlessly going to leave them behind. What if this is the reason?
What's the reason?
Before, we could scarcely escape these monsters. And now I can't even hear a whisper of one. What if they're already satisfied with what they've taken?
My eyes widen and I stifle a gasp. The situation at hand giving both of us a reason to think on that possibility is absolutely unsettling, but its conclusion is even worse still. The notion of the guide allowing others to die unnecessarily on purpose to make it less dangerous for the remaining few, that is not something I was prepared for. Neither was I. I don't think that's true.
Even back when we started, the first time we met the guide, he mentioned that at least one of us would die before the journey was finished. Didn't that exchange seem strange to you? He said it as though it was a price to pay for coming with him.
Well, yeah, we could have gone around, but we didn't. We went with him. We knew it was dangerous. Everybody knows it's dangerous.
The guide is free to do as he pleases. He can and will threaten to leave the entire group behind at so much as a hint of resistance. Nothing is stopping him. He knew this was going to happen. He had to know.
He did, and he warned us that one of us was gonna die. I take a few moments to breathe. Despite the danger, I only barely resist shutting my eyes against the world.
We need to make it to the other side. We must keep moving forward and survive. The guide is our only way across. My usual reply to Bemele's worries does not make an impression. His eyes are not swayed. He continues to stare into me.
I am saying he cannot be trusted with our lives at this very moment. I need an answer to that, Kika. What do you really think?
What do I really think? I do not agree. We can discuss at the end. Say nothing. We can discuss at the end. Coming to any decision on the matter is impossible right now. There's too much danger and too many unknowns to count for to reach any sort of conclusion. I have no choice but to shut the conversation down. I can only hope Emily will take it seriously.
When everything is through, then we may talk about it. End of discussion.
Emily doesn't battle me further on the issue. His face no longer retains any anger, only sorrow. He returns his gaze straight ahead. At least he's not mad anymore. You're gonna end up getting us killed, Bemele. Our progress continues steadily, and we still encounter no significant difficulties.
How much longer until we reach the other side? We've traveled quite a ways.
Bemele's quiet, breaking question doesn't sound particularly enthused.
It should only be another couple of hours.
Interesting. Okay. Bemele is unconvinced. It is not only I who notices. The guy suddenly stops. Eerily, he turns his head to the side and looks back at us.
Is there a problem with that?
No. Bemele, shut up.
Is there?
We progress to the bridges at a much quicker clip this time. Bemele's question was not idle curiosity. He was confirming that fact for himself. I should have known. The guide looks to be slightly irritated over the attitude Bemele has taken. I would too.
If you have something to say, you should say it. Unless you're afraid that I'm going to leave you behind.
His statement lands heavily on us. Did he listen to our conversation? There were no sounds to cover our voices. However, I assumed we were too far away enough from the guide to keep our words to ourselves. No, I don't think so. I think he probably has great hearing. He stares with such an icy expression I nearly freeze in place. Bemele, on the other hand, heats up and grows more hostile. He leaves my side to rush into the guide's flickering light.
Don't.
Bemele, I'm not going to protect you if you're going to just keep running off. This is going much too far. I urge him to come back. He ignores me and takes a stand facing the guide.
Am I right? Are you going to leave us behind after what I've done?
The guide isn't bothered at all by Bemele entering his space. He gives a level answer.
No.
Well, that's grand. In that case, I'd like to know if I'm on the right track about something else. Are the monsters missing because they've already eaten? Or is there some other reason why they've all mysteriously vanished?
The guide pauses for a moment. His eyes close and he becomes completely still.
It's possible.
Bemele glares at the guide over the admittance. It's as though he heard nothing after the first line the guide spoke. The guide is unfazed.
If you enter these bridges, all you should expect is death.
That's what I'm saying.
That is no secret.
That's what I'm saying. They knew the risks. They made the risks anyways. Margaret knew that it was a risk. The other guy knew it was a risk. He's lost people already. Like, everybody knows that it's a risk to be out here. So there's really no point in arguing about it.
You need to stop putting so much energy into finding meaning, or else you will end up like the others.
Bemele ends up speechless, caught off guard by the guide openly discussing his accusation. The guide continues at Bemele's silence, annoyance leaking into his voice.
You think that the results would have been different if only I had said more or did something differently. But that is not true. The conclusion would be exactly the same. If Lou hadn't died when he did, he would have been lost at some other point during the trip.
Lou, is that the guy that we left behind?
Lou?
Yes, Lou was his name. I had spoken with him in the past. He wanted to cross the bridges. I had deemed him unfit. He was far too desperate and unprepared. There's no helping someone like that.
The guy sounds even more agitated as he elaborates. Bemele seems to be finished with being surprised. His anger reignites.
If that's all well and true, why haven't you died yet? How is it that you've been able to cross these horrendous bridges over and over again without suffering the same consequences as everyone else?
The guy's face twists into a vicious snarl. He shouts,
I have died. I have no life to give. Everything I am, everything I could have been was surrendered to this lake. That is the only reason why I'm able to stand before you now. I can show you the way, and I can give you advice on how to survive the perils you will face. That is all I'm able to offer.
I think he's like a ghost or something. That makes sense.
Is that not enough for you? What else do you want from me? Kindness? Sympathy? It's been far too many years since I was capable of giving anything like that.
He finally stops to catch his breath, though the emotion in his eyes still shines intently. There is no response from either of us. An agonizing silence permeates the air. No one dares to even move. The tension is cut as the boards beneath me starts to creak. My eyes dart down. The bridge is sinking, rapidly. Instinctively, I jump backwards, but the new section of bridge groans horribly as it too starts to tilt into the water. They keep getting further and further away with each disappearing platform I move off of. Uh-oh. I look up at Bamel's call. My chest tightens when I see him and the guide on what has become the other side of a small chasm. I leap back just in time as the bridge under me snaps like a twig. Glancing over again, they keep getting farther and farther away with each disappearing platform I move off of. Dread creeps up my neck and I nearly lose my footing once I realize what's happening. They're separating us. Just desperately stumbling backwards, I finally manage to regain my balance. I use this to leap far enough back to the bridge I land on doesn't immediately start to fall apart under my weight. In another 3 swift steps, I'm finally on sturdy wood. The bridge is reluctantly stopped settling and shifting and settle. The only trace left of what was once a huge section of the bridge is a few splintered boards floating in the murky water. The lake consumed it. Somehow I'm not surprised. Regaining my bearings, I face what has become of my circumstances. I am now separated from Bamel and the guide by a far wider gorge than anyone could leap. My throat goes bone dry as I teeter at the end of the bridge, mind wildly scrambling for a solution that doesn't come. I lock onto Bamel's face. He's completely aghast, darting from one side of the bridge to the other like a panicked animal. There is no mistaking that he's desperate to help me in some way. However, there's also no mistaking that there aren't any options available to him. He turns to the guide with pleading eyes, all his earlier hostility sunk in with the bridges. I'm too far off to grasp what Bamel is asking, but if I get the impression he is seeing if there is another way. The guide turns to me. He's completely cooled down from the earlier interaction, back to his same placid expression. He focuses back on Bamel, who has now gripped him by the cloak. The guide says one word. Judging from the look of pure terror on Bamel's face, I can only assume it was no. There is no way back to them. The guide frees himself from Bamel's grasp and continues speaking. Bamel seems horribly shaken at his words. I can barely see from here, but I think he's quivering. As I watch the two discuss my fate, unable to say anything, fear starts to crawl over me. My arms run cool to cold to freezing. It's not long before the rest of my body follows. I notice Bamel cover his face with a still shuddering hand. The guide's voice echoes loudly across the waters, separating me from them.
Go back and take the next bridge you come across that goes west. There may be enough time for you to find your own way.
Interesting. Okay. Take the bridge west. I blink, taken aback for a moment before I quickly regain my composure. That's right, this isn't over. I still have my lantern with me, the prowlers are less active, and if the guide says it's possible, it could be true. I nod solemnly at his words and yell back.
I'll meet you there. Don't wait for me.
Don't wait for me. He bows his head, starts to slowly back away from the edge. Bamel pulls his head from his hand to look at me. Even across the water, I can tell that he's crying. I smile forlornly at him as the wind whips against my back. I speak softly.
You need to go.
You need to go. Oh. There's no way he could have heard me, yet I'm confident the sentiment got across. I spin on my heels and run back the way we came, searching for the bridge the guide said to take. I can only hope that we all safely reunite before this night ends. Ooh, now we're alone. Now we're alone out here. I spare a brief glance behind me, however there's not a trace of them or even the dead end I was stranded at. With the painful contracting in my heart, I realize that I am truly alone now. Quickly, I shake off the thought and refocus my attention on what's in front of me. The first branching of the path comes into reach. I skid to a full stop in front of it. The path west is as dark and desolate as every bridge. It's impossible to see what's down the twisting way. The previous conversation comes floating back to me. Now that I'm here, I must face that concern. Is the guide reliable? Can he be trusted? Yes. Yes, he is. He is reliable, and we should trust him. He is our only hope. I had to leap so that they could go on without being weighed down. That I don't regret. However, I can't help but wonder if the guide couldn't give me a proper suggestion because of the sinking bridges. A mistake could have been made. No, I think it's fine. It is also possible he knowingly gave false hope to keep the situation calm, or perhaps he intentionally set me to the wrong path because it would be easier for them if I did not make it. No, don't start thinking about it. Don't start thinking like Bamel. Please don't. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's just pissy. I look between the pathways. Based on my direction, it does seem as though other options could potentially connect me to them before the west does. Yet I cannot possibly know until I move forward. I need to make a decision. Follow the guide's path. No, I can't allow doubt to take control. We've known from the beginning that there is only one path that has led travelers to safety. His. I will take the guide on his word. Without wasting an additional moment, I make my way across the western bridge. I walk at a moderately brisk pace, not wanting to risk tripping or running out of energy in a moment where I might need it. If the eeriness of the lake was disconcerting before, now it is overwhelming. The blizzard-like fog drifting over the waters limits my vision to the span of my arms. I was gonna say tiny arms. She doesn't have tiny arms. The utter silence was a comfort, despite how otherworldly it felt, but the whispering of the lake has started to stir now. I gulp despite myself. They've noticed me. As their chattering grows, I consider briefly if the others hear them as well, or if they have come out specifically because I'm on my own. I straighten my back and walk more surely. I cannot let them believe I am an easy target. I even considered keeping my sword in hand, but it doesn't seem entirely likely that I would realize it is something that could harm them. They would realize it is something that could harm them. Okay. To keep my mind from wandering into dark places, I count my steps like we used to in training. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my god. Despite my best efforts, things are starting to get to me. My worries wash over me, causing painful twinges underneath my clothes that make me jerk and twitch like a fly-bitten horse. The whispering inhuman voices, the feeling of vulnerability, the horrible thought of being hopelessly lost all melded together is consuming me. My pace breaks from the steady rhythm of my counting set. It quickens more as I start to succumb to fear. Don't succumb to fear, be strong. My wrist steps turn into long, frantic strides. Something in me whispers, faster, go faster, don't let them catch you, and I listen. I break into a run. Like moving on landmines, flashes of fear explode in my mind and drive my feet harder, faster, stronger along the path. Until suddenly my sense of reason returns and I stop dead. My chest rises and falls with deep heaving breaths as I try to calm myself down. The monsters erupt into an inharmonious chorus of what sounds to be wicked laughs. I fight the urge to shout back at the creatures. This feels like a nightmare I will never wake up from. I take another breath and resume my measured progress. Even after the first crossroad, I continue with the guide's simple direction, keeping west every chance I get. I have no other hints for this labyrinth. It's difficult to tell how much time has passed. It must be at least an hour, judging by how much energy I've expended. Only an hour? Since I recomposed myself, I have not stopped walking for a second. Despite how much time has worn on, the route still feels like an endless abyss. Then I hear a noise, oh no, which causes a shuddering chill to creep down my spine. Ugh, squishy. Ugh, squishy! An uneven clicking followed by a squelching sound. It's a prowler. I immediately turn to look behind me. There's nothing. I breathe out, relieved. Don't be relieved yet. My ears search for the sound of the noise, but with all the babble the Nixi are making, the direction is clouded. I strain my ears. That's it. The noise is drifting slowly from one of the connecting paths up ahead. I can faintly tell the noise is drawing nearer. The prowler has not arrived yet, but soon its path will intercept with my own. I will not wait for it to reveal itself, leaving me two options. I can run past the bridge connection to get ahead of it, or I can turn back and find a new path to take. No, go past it. I have faith that following the same path I've been is for the best. I steel myself and build up speed. I get closer and closer to the branch with the lurking threat and pick up my pace so I'm sprinting. I hear a gurgling hiss as I pass through the crossroad. It must have been close enough to be pained by the light. I barely made it. However, I didn't hear any splash. It's still nearby. I look behind me to see if it at least decided to come no further. Oh god! Horrified, I realize that it's pointedly following me. It is no longer mindlessly dragging itself through the blackness. I have become its target. Its limbs bend wildly and unnaturally. It looks as though it's only barely keeping itself upright as its torso wobbles on its hips. That isn't stopping it from giving chase. I focus my view back ahead and continue to run. My breathing rapidly becomes ragged. I can still hear the squishing footsteps of the prowler behind me as it lunges its body forward in that unnatural gait. Without warning, the bridge lurches to one side. Oh crap. Oh crap. Are we dead? Catching me completely off guard, I lose my footing and slam into the damp surface of the bridge. My light falls with me, painfully snuffing out. Oh shit! Splashes and excited stirring of many voices come from the lake. How? Why? Is it rotting, or did they push the support beams? I'm left with no time to ponder the mystery as the monster draws near. I scramble back onto my feet as it closes in. Grabbing my dark lantern, I resume running to put some space between us again. I open the latch on the lantern and pull out a match. I'll have to slow down, at least briefly, to properly light the flame without it blowing out. With death still on my heels, I must not let one precious moment be wasted. Set on my plan, and with everything in hand, I begin to decrease my pace. Light the lantern! Moving as fast as I am capable, I place a lit match inside the lantern and the oil catches fire. As the flame grows, I can hear the awful footsteps behind me begin to peter out. I steal a glance behind me. It has truly stopped. The return of the light seems to catch it off guard, and thankfully it declines, coming closer. Run. After a moment's reprieve to breathe, I rush forward once more. Fighting isn't an option, and I need to get away from that monster. I'm not able to run fast enough, however. Oh shit. Oh no! Oh no! It got us! I let out a loud scream as the prowler latches onto my body from behind. I'm thrown to the ground again. The shock is great and the lantern slips from my hand, skidding across the bridge out of my reach. Because it came in contact with the light, the prowler drops itself back into the depths without attacking again. There is no time to feel relieved. Arms of other Nixi emerge from the water and reach up the side of the bridge, scraping the boards as they try to get to me. I try to climb up on my feet, but one of the creatures takes hold of me before I can properly stand. I'm dragged back down to the ground, my jaw smacking hard against the bridge as the Nix blindly pulls me towards the edge. Other slimy crawled hands grab onto me as I jam my nails hard into the crevice on the bridge. I kick frantically at their silhouettes, but they still keep pulling me closer to the edge. I curl my fingers around the uneven wood tighter. Despite all my effort, there is no support. My bloody, splintered fingers become loose. Water engulfs my vision, heavy and cold, so thick I can't even hear my own thrashing. I try to grab my sword, try to fight back, but I can't even get it out of the hilt. The resistance against me is all-encompassing. Something grabs my arm, then my waist. I get pulled from side to side or further down, first one way and then another. The water feels like a solid substance, and being dragged against it is like I'm being pressed through something. My vision grows darker and darker. I can't tell whether I'm going lower or whether I'm losing consciousness. My arms flail to bring me closer to wherever the surface is, but nothing is working. Complete darkness engulfs me. Aw, man. Aw, man. Was everything I've done worth it? I must believe that it was. Lake of Voices. A fearful and reckless conclusion. Oh, goodness. That was really good. Is that one route? That seems to be a bad end. Yeah, that looks like to be a bad end. So, oh my goodness. That was so spooky. Okay, so thanks for joining me for Lake of Voices today, guys. I think we'll play this again next week and try to get a better ending. Hopefully we'll be able to get across. Maybe if we save Margaret or something like that. Or maybe if we go after the guide instead of going after Bamel. Bamel was just too angry at the guide to really be helpful. So I think if we had saved Margaret or saved Lou, he would have felt a little bit better about it, and he wouldn't like take it out on the guide. But we definitely died, so that's a bad end for us. I'm not surprised by that, but I guess it's kind of punishment for letting everybody else die as well, and not having that support. But I guess we'll see you next time. So anyways, thanks for joining me for Lake of Voices, guys. I hope you liked it. I had a lot of fun with it. The writing is really good. The characters are really interesting. Like I said, Bamel kind of got on my nerves because he wouldn't let things go. But we'll see what we can do better next time. So anyways, thanks for joining me for Lake of Voices. I will see you guys later. I will see you guys on Sunday, actually. Come join us on Sunday here at the Twitch channel. We'll be reading Homestuck with my lovely husband, Gob the Goblin. So you can check out my channel or you can check out his channel and you'll be able to hear both of us. It's been a lot of fun. I'm a total noob when it comes to Homestuck, and Gob is a veteran when it comes to Homestuck. So he's not giving me tips on what's going to happen, but he's like, there's a lot that's going to happen. So join us for Homestuck. It'll be a lot of fun. It's our way of celebrating Homestuck getting its own pilot and hopefully its own episodes and series. That'll be really fun to watch. But yeah, that'll be really fun. So come join us on Sunday for that. Join us on Tuesday. We started playing the Infectious Madness of Dr. Decker. It is a like FMV style game where there's live action and you have questions that you can ask characters and you're kind of digging for information, things like that. Making sure you're asking the right questions is a big deal. So come join me for that. That's been a lot of fun. The characters are really interesting. So come join us for that. It's part of spooky season. And then join us on Thursday. We have started playing Fran Bow. It's a point and click that is also horror themed and has a lot of what's it called, content warnings with it. So I always go over the content warnings before we get into the game, just in case anybody is like popping in for the first time. But Franbo has also been very fun. Last we happened yesterday, we turned into a tree, so I don't know where we're gonna go from there. But come join us next Thursday for that, and then join us on Friday next week for more Lake of Voices. We'll play this again, hopefully at a different ending. We'll see. And yeah, anyways, thanks for joining me, guys. I will see you later, and have a good dream. Have a good night. Love you guys. Bye.